Hello, everyone. Welcome to Digital Charcuterie. My name is James. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you're looking forward to Alien Earth, hit that subscribe button. I'm going to be watching it, talking about it as it drops weekly on streaming. I can't wait. I love the Alien franchise, and I've been looking forward to Alien Earth for some time. This has been one of my most anticipated shows of the year. We got Andor I was looking forward to, which was massively amazing, and I can't wait for Peacemaker Season 2, which comes out about 10 days, 9 days after Alien Earth. But I want to talk today about Alien Earth, which we are now a week away, just under a week away from it debuting here in Canada. It's going to be on Disney Plus. I think in the States you get it on Hulu. It's just going to be where it is. And it's going to drop weekly, and I'll be doing that as well. And they're going to have a podcast about it also weekly, I believe, which I am looking forward to. So today, I want to talk a little bit about Alien Earth. And I want to see what the early reviews are, because it is looking like it is a positive entry into the Alien universe. There have been so many Alien movies, and I've enjoyed most of them. There's been a few that have been very hit or miss, obviously. And even if we include Alien versus Predator, they are what they are. But for the most part, the Alien franchise is a fascinating one. It's been around since the late 70s. It kind of happened, I think Ridley Scott said, because he saw Star Wars in the theater and he wanted something like that. And as it turned out, there was a script for Alien on his desk, and he did that, and the rest is history. James Cameron comes in and pushes the franchise forward, but now we got Alien Earth, and let's go over to Rotten Tomatoes and see what the critics are saying on Alien Earth. Alien Earth first reviews: an atmospheric slow burn thriller that echoes the best of the franchise. Love hearing best of the franchise, right? Like when you hear that, either the problem with this now is maybe the expectations are going to be a tad too high for this series. For the first time since its debut in 1979, the Alien franchise has been spun off into the small screen, and the first reviews of the series are mostly positive. Created by Fargo's Noah Hawley, Alien Earth opens up the Alien universe and brings a xenomorph horror to our planet, albeit a version set in the distant future. The show introduces a lot of new elements while still catering to what the fans want, but many of the reviews point out that it does take its time getting to the really good stuff. Here's what critics are saying about Alien Earth. Will it satisfy diehard Alien franchise fans? Alien Earth is the ultimate sci-fi series for fans of Alien. Jamie Parker, CBR. The 8-part FX series is a devoted fan's dream come true, says Nick Shager from the Daily Beast. Alien Earth is the best the franchise has been since Isolation. For a lifetime fan, this is what dreams and nightmares are made of. Cameron Frood. Alien Earth is the kind of project where you can feel the love for the franchise seeping into every frame. Ross Boname. Alien Earth manages to not only give the fans what they want, but also entirely new parameters to the mythology that Ridley Scott invented years ago. Eric Diaz. How does it compare to the movies? It's too soon to state whether Alien Earth can be classed as one of the best in the series, but it's certainly looking like it could be fun. Gavin Spoors. Is this the best Xenomorph story since James Cameron's Aliens? On the basis of the first 6 episodes, it sure feels like it. Will Salmon. Hawley gives us the horror of Alien, the deeper ideas of Prometheus and Alien Covenant, and the dissection of corporate greed in Aliens and Alien Romulus. And even some of the more fun ridiculousness of the series' most absurd moments. Roz Boname. Alien Earth scratches and scared of the dark itch, perhaps better than any entry in the franchise outside of the first movie. Clint Gage. Alien Earth manages to be a better version of the young adult-centric story Alien Romulus attempted to tell. Ron Hiller. Alien gets so caught up in aping the iconic imagery and tense horror thrills of Ridley Scott's Alien that it never follows through on its most interesting ideas. Hoi Tran Bao. Here we go. It says, is it a fresh addition to the franchise? It's a fascinating and frightening extension of an oft-confined space. Ben Travers. Hawley expands on the world of Alien, taking it to fascinating new places and crafting sequences as gripping as a face hugger. Hawley has taken a concept. That's Belen Edwards. Howley has taken a concept that has no business working for television and shaped it into something thrilling, strange, and surprising. It finds fascinating ways to expand on concepts introduced in the background of the film. Alan Spinwell. And Alien Earth often retreads ideas and themes that have already been explored in the movies, and to a lesser effect, Ron Hillard from discussing film there. And that's kind of one of my concerns, I suppose you could say, is that how is this going to differ to a movie, and why would I rather watch, and why am I watching a series about this? Like, what is the series? What is the goal of the series? How does it define itself versus the movies? Like, what makes this ideal for a series? That's one of the things that I think about a lot when I watch television now, especially as a lot of movies that we see are just, or sorry, a lot of television shows that we see are actually just, movies spread out into 8 episodes, right? They prolong them and they chop them up. So I am very much looking forward to this. It seems very impressive what they're saying here, how it kind of melds all the aspects of Alien that we've loved throughout the movies together into one. And I also read that it's actually, one of the things they're doing is they're just ignoring all the films and the stories that have come before it, and they're focusing on their own thing. So whether or not that's going to work, and whether or not, you as a viewer is going to accept that, remains to be seen. We won't know until we see it. The reviews are mostly glowing right now. Very positive stuff happening on the Alien Earth front. Again, we're a week away. They're going to release them. They're going to release them weekly. I'm really curious what they're going to say about the absurdity of it. How they say that this ventures into the absurdity of the Alien franchise, which it does have. It has a lot of absurdity in it, but it's also, I think Alien also works the best when it is mainly grounded with that touch of absurdity, because you have to be a little bit absurd for the concept to fully work and to fully mature and to fully evolve. You have to embrace the sci-fi of it, which can be a little bit absurd at times. But I love the first Alien, obviously, is very much horror. The second one, very much action. And I'm curious to see what they're going to do. Alien Romulus kind of blended both of those, I thought, in a very good way. I had some issues with the ending of Romulus. I wasn't thrilled where it went. I'm curious to see what the end goal of Alien Earth is. But as of right now, looking very positive, especially on the Rotten Tomatoes end of it. And let's see what their overall rating is on Rotten Tomatoes. Right now, it's sitting at a solid 90%. So of all those, the few that didn't like it or weren't thrilled with it, right there is not showing through too much. 90% is a massive score on Rotten Tomatoes. It doesn't say here how many reviews there are, which does matter in my opinion. But here we go. When a mysterious space vessel crash lands on Earth, Wendy and a ragtag group of tactical soldiers make a fatal discovery that puts them face to face with the planet's greatest threat. I cannot wait. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. I will be covering it weekly, as I said. Looking forward to watching it, seeing how it doesn't connect to the other stuff, but it's going to have to connect because it is Alien, so it's going to have to stick with that lore and see where it goes. And I am fascinated to see what Noah Hawley and company has done with the property and franchise that I think, it's remarkable that it's been around for almost 50 years, and they find ways, maybe, like I said, maybe they stumble once in a while, but they find ways to make it fresh and new. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And until next time, may be the master of your own universe.